Welcome back to Yoga with Krysta. My name is Krysta and today I'll be your yoga teacher. Today's class is an intermediate to advanced level inverted flow, which means that we're going to be working into some arm balances and a lot of inversions, including things like handstand, headstand, and forearm stand. You won't need any props for class today, so when you're ready, come join me on the mat. We'll get started at the top of our mats with the big toes touching, heels resting slightly apart. Close your eyes here. Allow your hands to come down next to your hips, palms facing forward. Just take a deep breath in, deep breath out, rooting down through your feet. Begin to blink your eyes open and then inhale, reach all the way up, press your palms, and exhale, start to fold in half. Let it go. Inhale, lengthen the spine, flat back, palms down, fold again. Let your head get heavy. Inhale, arms sweep on up, press your palms up overhead, and hands come down through the heart. Inhale, arms lengthen, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to fold in half, Uttanasana. Inhale, find a flat back. Lower the hands, step the feet back, find a plank pose. Keep the core engaged as you lower the knees, chest, and chin, and then press through, find a cobra. Lift the heart. Exhale, toes tuck under, downward facing dog. So first down dog of our practice. Just move around here. So pedal your heels, shift the weight across your hips. Shoulders drop away from the ears, sliding them down the back. Eventually find some stillness in the legs. And then gaze comes forward, step up, find your flat back, lengthen through the spine. And exhale to fold over. Inhale, root down, rise up, palms press. Hands come down through the heart and down to the sides. Inhale, lengthen, reach up. And exhale, we're folding from the hips. Inhale, find a flat back and palms down. Step or jump back to Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, and exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So really find your breath here. Lower belly's drawing up and in. Let your neck become really long, pressing equally into all of the fingers, the pads of the fingers and the knuckles, just trying to take some weight out of the wrist. Maybe the heels can drop a little bit deeper. Gaze comes forward, bend your knees, come to the balls of the feet, step it on up, find your flat back, and exhale, fold. So just warming the body up. Inhale, arms reach high, press your palms, and hands lower down through the heart and down to the sides. Inhale it up again, lengthen, and exhale, hinge from your hips to fold. Inhale, find a flat back, lower the hands, step or float back to Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, and exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Steady breath. Maybe even connecting with your Ujjayi breath here if that feels good. Slow, steady breathing. Gaze comes forward. Step or float up to the front, lengthen, and exhale to fold over. Inhale, arms sweep on up, press your palms, and hands come down through the heart and down to the sides. Inhale, lengthen, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find your flat back, Ardha, and palms down, step or float back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing, and exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So steady breath, calm mind. Another few breaths right here. And then from here, we're going to walk the feet in just a little bit, shortening the stance. Look forward, come onto the balls of the feet, step or jump up into your handstand, and then fold over. Let it go. Inhale, arms sweep on up, palms press, and hands come down through the heart and down to the sides. Inhale, circle them back up. Exhale to fold over. Inhale, lengthen the spine, flat back, hands down, step or float back, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing, and exhale, downward facing dog. How's your breath here? See if you can smooth it out a little bit. And keep in mind, you can always find a child's pose if you need. You can always pause the video. This is your practice. From here, walk your feet in a little bit, shorten the stance, and then come up onto the balls of the feet, softening the knees, and step or float up. Maybe you find a little hang time in that handstand, and then exhale, begin to fold. Inhale, circle the arms up, press your palms up overhead, and hands lower down through the heart and down to the sides. Inhale, take a seat, find your chair pose, Utkatasana. Get heavy in the hips, and then exhale to fold over. Inhale, find a flat back. Lower your hand, step or float back to chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, and exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take the toes together. Inhale, the right leg lifts, step it on up, right into warrior one. So back heel down, inhale, both arms reach high, press your palms together, and then lower the hands back to the floor, step back, take your vinyasa. So meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts, step it forward by that left thumb, back heel down, inhale, reach up, palms are pressing, lower the hands back to the floor, step back, lower chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, exhale, Adho Mukha. Find your breath again. Shoulders moving away from the ears, hips are still nice and high. Walk those feet a little bit closer together, and then look forward, step or float up. Maybe you catch some hang time. Inhale, flat back, exhale to fold. Inhale, take a seat, find your chair pose, Utkatasana, and then stand all the way up. Press your palms, lower them down through the heart and down to the sides. From here, separate the feet about inner hips width. You're going to reach up, take the right hand around the left wrist. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, tip open to the left side. So big side body stretch here. And then come back up to center, switch the grip. So left hand comes around the right wrist, and then fold over to the left side. So big stretch through the side body. Come back to center. Release your grip. Take the palms down at the low back, fingers point down. Inhale to lift the chest. Roll the heart open, push your hips forward, tip the gaze back, and come back up. From here, hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your heart, open the chest, and exhale to fold. Grab hold of your big toes using your yoga toe grip. Inhale to a flat back and exhale, fold. Remember, we want to shift the weight forward before we straighten the legs. So that way we're really getting into the hamstrings, not the knees. Keep the shoulders moving down the back, away from the ears. Elbows drawing wide. Release your grip, inhale to a flat back, and then flip your palms, take them underneath your feet for Padahastasana. Bending at the knees, inhale to a flat back, exhale, fold. As you shift forward, putting more of the weight into the wrists, you can begin to straighten the legs if that feels okay. So keep lifting the hips, inhale to a flat back, release the grip, and then exhale to fold. We're going to take those feet back into plank, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, find your downward facing dog. Heels drop. Inhale, the right leg lifts, open through your hips, just roll around the knee, the hip, and the ankle. Come back to find a straight leg. Inhale here, and then begin to step it up by the right hand for warrior one. Palms press up overhead, lower belly in, drop your tailbone down. See if you can really ground down and press through that left heel. Split your hands, reach behind you, interlace the fingers to lift the chest, and then exhale, find your humble warrior as you fold over. So shoulder can rest over the thigh or fall on the inside of it. Release the hands down, and then pick up that back heel as you straighten the legs, flexing the right toes up toward the ceiling. Find your breath. Place the foot back down, walk the fingertips out in front of you. For standing split, lift the left leg nice and high. You can stay here. You can take one or both hands to the back of the calf or ankle, or you can find your handstand hops. And if you're finding those handstand hops, make sure that the lower belly is pulling up and in. We're having a little bit of a rounding through the upper back as you press into those palms, and then use that right leg to kick. Come all the way back into a high lunge. So placing the left foot behind you, and then open your body for warrior two. So gazing over the right fingertips. Begin to revolve your warrior, open the entire side body, getting into the ribs and the intercostal muscles. Come back to warrior two, straighten the front leg, and then begin to angle the left foot in just a little bit for triangle pose. Drop the right hand, extend the left arm high. So leaning back enough so you can feel this gentle rotation. And then lower the left hand at your left hip, look forward, come onto your right fingertips as you walk them out in front of you, coming right into our Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So you can stay there with the leg extended and then reach the left arm up, or maybe you begin to bend the left knee and catch the foot behind you. So completely up to you. Pressing the foot into the hand, opening up the quad, opening up the chest, and then slowly begin to step it on back. Arms reach wide for warrior two. Find your breath, revolve your warrior one more time, and then cartwheel your hands down to frame the front foot. Step back, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. So check in with your breath here. If you need to take a break, feel free to do that. Gaze comes forward, step or float up. We're going to take the feet nice and wide for Malasana, yogi squat. Hands together in front of the heart, spread the collarbones open, lift the chest, get a little bit deeper through the hips, and then take the palms down. We're going to head right into Bakasana, crow pose. So feet together, hips high, take those knees really high on those triceps, and then maybe you lift one foot, maybe the other as you shift forward. If both feet are off the ground, point your toes, try to get your heels together as well. Pull your lower belly up and in, and then shoot it back, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Full steady breath. Inhale, left leg lifts, open your hip up, roll around the knee, the hip, and the ankle. Come back to find a straight leg, pull it in knee to nose, and then step it up right into warrior one. Back heel down, inhale, both arms lift. Palms are pressing up overhead, hands meet behind you, interlace the fingers, lift the chest, open the heart, and then fold it into humble warrior. So shoulder can rest over that front thigh or fall on the inside. And then from here, lower the fingertips down, straighten that front leg, flex your left toes up, pop that back heel up. We're getting a deep hamstring stretch into that left leg. Keep breathing. And then slowly walk those fingertips forward, plant the foot down right into our standing split. You can stay here. You can take one or both hands around the back of the calf or ankle, or you can work on the handstand hops, coming into a little bit of a handstand, maybe finding some hang time. Keep practicing. Find your breath. And then slowly we're going to step it on back for a high lunge. So left foot is forward, right foot is back. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, open to warrior two. Back heel down, gazing over the left fingers. Revolve your warrior. Big side body stretch on that left side. Come back to find warrior two. And then begin to straighten the front leg. You can heel toe the right foot in a little bit as you reach across the left side, drop the hand, and extend the right arm high. So Utthita Trikonasana, leaning back a little bit. From here, right hand comes to your hip. We're going to look forward and then take the left fingertips out in front of your foot for finding our half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. You can stay here with the leg extended, or maybe bend the right knee, catch the foot behind you, and press the foot into the hand. Big stretch through the quad. Release what you have. With control, step back for warrior two. Arms lengthen. Take an inhale. Exhale, revolve your warrior. And then cartwheel your hands down to frame the front foot. Step back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Find your breath. From here, step the feet a little bit closer to the hands, so just shortening your dog. Look forward, rounding the spine slightly. Press up. Maybe you find your handstand. We're going to breathe here for 3, 2, 1. Let it come down and then fold. Find a ragdoll. Take opposite elbows. Separate the feet a little bit. Bend your knees. Sway side to side. Let it go. And then release the hands to a flat back. Lower the hands down, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Go ahead and step it to the outside of the right hand, finding our lizard pose. So really opening up across the hip flexor and the quad. Breathe deeply. And then lower the back knee down, untuck the back toes, keep breathing. Steady breath. You can peel the big toe side of that right foot open, press the right thigh away, maybe even rotate your ribs open, and then start to bend the left knee, catch the foot behind you. So drawing that foot a little bit closer towards you. Release the foot back down. Slide your hips back to lengthen that left leg as you fold over. Reaching the chin down over to the shin, flexing that right foot. And then from here, plant the palms back down, finding your lizard pose, step back for downward facing dog. So we're going to come into a little bit of an arm balance, into our Ekapada Kondunyasana. So inhale, the right leg lifts, and then begin to shift forward. Take your knee, bend it, place it on top of the right tricep, and then extend that leg straight. Step back for chaturanga, inhale upward facing, and exhale downward facing dog. And you can always come into that posture right from lizard if you'd like. So inhale, left leg lifts, step it forward into your lizard pose. So left hand is on the inside of the foot. Reach your heart forward, reach your hips forward. You might shift the weight forward and back if that feels good. Drop the right knee down, untuck the toes, keep breathing. And then we'll slowly start to peel the left toes open, press the thigh away slightly, and then you can bend the right knee, catch the foot behind you, and draw the foot a little bit closer towards you. Release the foot back down, and then from here come back into your lizard pose, step it back, down dog. So finding that arm balance one more time on the left side. Inhale, left leg lifts, exhale, shift it forward, place the knee over the tricep, bend your elbows, chaturanga arms, and extend both legs. Step back to chaturanga, inhale, upward facing, and exhale, downward facing dog. From here, lower the knees, sink the hips back, and find child's pose, balasana. Maybe rolling your forehead back and forth. And just find your breath here. Slowly start to make your way back up. Come onto the shins. Hips are right on top of the knees for camel. Tuck your toes under, let your palms come down to the low back, and then inhale, lift your chest up. Start by rolling your collarbones open, push your hips forward, and slowly tip your gaze back. From here, come back to center, back to neutral. Breathe. This time you might walk your hands further back to the heels, either way, lift your chest, push your hips forward, and tip the gaze back. Breathe here, nice and deep. With control, come back up. Full, steady breath. One last time, if you want to go deeper, untuck your toes, place the whole hand down on top of the sole of the foot, lift your chest, roll your heart open, push your hips forward, breathe deep. Hands together at your heart, and slowly with control come back up. Just take the hands on top of your thighs. Close your eyes for a moment. Let everything settle. And then we'll slowly start to make our way down. We're going to find our rabbit pose or hare pose. You're going to take your hands over by your ankles and then lift your hips, come onto the crown of your head, rounding your upper back and shoulders, and then let your hips come down. So knees are together. We're just in a different version of our child's pose with the hands by the heels. Start to walk your hands out in front of you. Come into a few rounds of your cat-cow. So inhale, belly drops, and exhale, round through the spine. So belly comes down, heart opens, and then push the floor away. Maybe look over your shoulder. Allow your shoulder and hip to connect a little bit. Rolling around. Inhale, the right arm lifts, and exhale, slide it all the way underneath. Come onto the right shoulder, and feel free to move that left hand. You can walk it over to the right corner of your mat or drop it across your low back. Either way, find that rotation and continue it. Lower the left hand, inhale the right arm high. Circle that arm around a few times, just big circles with the shoulder. And then place that right hand back down. Inhale, left arm sweeps up, and slide that arm all the way underneath. Come down onto your shoulder blade. You can stay right there. Maybe move that right hand, just continue the twist. Keep breathing. And then lower the right hand, inhale, left arm high. Take a few big circles with the shoulder. And then place the palm back down. Inhale, belly falls. One more round of your cat-cow. Exhale, round the spine. Come down onto your forearms. You can interlace your fingers, lift your hips, and then walk your feet a little bit closer towards your torso. From here, we're going to look forward, shift forward, touch the nose to the ground in front of your hands, and then push it back. So we're doing dolphin push-ups. Do as many as you can. You can pause the video and just like bang them out. Maybe do 10, 20, 30. These are quite difficult. So if you can only get your hands over your head over your hands, that is perfect. Whenever you're done, whenever you've had enough, you can find your way into child's pose. So we're going to come into our forearm stand. If you want to continue with those dolphin push-ups, that's a great way just to build strength. If you have a forearm stand practice or want to play with it today, just join me. So forearms are down about shoulder width. We're going to lift that right leg high, belly pulls in, and then slowly, just using that bottom leg, we're going to come all the way up, really slow and controlled. Keep that spine engaged, keep the core engaged, pushing into the floor with the forearms. Legs are straight up, and then you can come back down when it feels good. And again, you might pause the video and try that a few more times if you want to. Whenever you're done, find a child's pose. And then this time we're going to find our way into a headstand. So you're going to drop your forearms down, interlace your fingers, tuck your toes under, let your head come down in that space where your hands are, making a little cup, and then find the egg position by pulling the knees up into the chest, and slowly lift your legs all the way up. So breathe into that space. Keep energizing the legs, reaching up through your toes, pressing down into the forearms. Steady breath. All right, so stay with me. From this headstand, we're going to transition here. We're going to split the legs. So legs are in opposite directions, feet are flexed, toes are pointing down to the floor. Now keep lowering the legs all the way down. It's almost like you're going to find a split here. And then we're going to lower the hips down, finding our Uttanasana Konasana. So toes and the knees are trying to come up, facing the ceiling. And then you're just going to fold as far forward as it feels good. If that transition was real funky and you didn't like it, just come back down, come onto your butt, and open your feet as wide as you want, and then fold over. So either way, Uttanasana Konasana. Eventually, we're going to come back up. Keep breathing, stretching through the hips, and then start to kind of just shake out the legs as you let them come all the way forward onto the mat. From here, right leg's going to get long, left foot comes into the inner thigh. Inhale, the arms lift, and exhale, start to fold over the right leg. So Janu Sirsasana. You can even take it into a little twist. I like to do that by taking the left hand to the outer edge of the right foot. Just a very gentle twist. Just stretches more of the left side of the back. Come back up, and then take that left foot across the right thigh, bend the right knee for a twist, left hand's behind, right arm lifts, take your elbow to the outside of the left thigh, inhale to lengthen, and exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Find your breath. Let your head come back to center, untwist, take a little counter twist, come back up, extend the right leg and the left leg, and then left leg stays long, right foot comes into the inner thigh as you reach up, and then fold over. So Janu Sirsasana. You might take that little twist, taking the right hand across the foot. And then slowly release what you have. Right foot comes across the left thigh, left knee bends, right hand's behind you, left arm stretches up as you take your twist. Inhale, stretch long, and exhale, deepen your twist, looking back over your shoulder. And then let your gaze come forward. Take your counter twist, walk it over to the left side. Just bow over, come back up. Left leg lengthens, right leg lengthens, shake it on out. And rock onto your sits bones. Find your boat pose, Navasana. Legs are engaged, belly's on. Arms are reaching forward. Then see if you can straighten your legs. Grab hold of your big toes, lift the spine, so everything is long here. Keep breathing, keep the right leg lengthened. Begin to bend the left knee, and then you're gonna take that right leg, take it over the right shoulder. We're coming into compass pose. Left hand comes to the outer edge of that right foot. Right hand comes down to the ground. Come onto the fingertips and press through that foot to come into your compass pose. So right leg lengthens. The left knee is bent. Keep breathing and then slowly release that. You're just gonna hug the right shin into your body. So take your arms, make a little cradle for your leg, rock side to side. And then you're gonna bend the left knee, place the foot down, place the right foot on top of the left knee. So big stretch through the IT band. Place the palms behind you. Pick up your hips and lift the chest. Tip your gaze back. Breathe deep. Lower the hips back down. Extend the left leg and the right leg. Give it a little shake. And then pick it on up, back into boat pose, Navasana. We have one more side to do. So fire up that core, breathe deep, extend the legs really long, grab hold of your big toes, lift the spine, breathe here. So keep breathing nice and deep. Left leg's gonna stay long, right knee bends and comes down to the ground. We're heading into that compass pose again. So taking the left knee over the left shoulder. Right hand comes to the outer edge of the foot, left hand to the floor. Rock onto the right hip slightly as you press into the foot and come into a straight leg with that left leg for compass pose. Breathing deeply. With control, we're slowly bending the knee and we're just gonna give that leg a little cradle, rock it out. So stretching that IT band slightly. We're gonna go deeper in that stretch by placing the right foot down, left foot on top of the right knee, hands behind you. Fingers are gonna turn to point back towards you. Pick up your hips and then tip your gaze back. Breathe deep. Steady, full breath, and then come back down. Extend your legs long. From here, legs are nice and long. Pick your hips up one more time. Fingertips are still pointing back to you. So reverse plank pose, and then slowly come on down. Inhale, the arms lift, flex your feet, and exhale, fold. Full, steady breath. With control, we're gonna slowly come up to lay all the way down onto your back, hug your knees into your chest, rock a little bit left and right, massaging the low back and the sacrum. Place the feet down about hips width. Hands come down by your heels. Heading into our bridge pose, slowly start to peel up the vertebra one at a time. Interlace your fingers under your back and walk your shoulders under. So keep pushing down into your feet, lifting up through your hips. Steady breath. Keep it lifted, and then we'll slowly, gently lower down. Windshield wiper your knees back and forth. Try to avoid hugging them in. So place your feet back down. We're going to come into one more back bend. You can take that bridge again, or if you want to work into your wheel pose, you're going to place the hands up by your ears, fingers turn back towards your shoulders. So palms plant, feet plant, and then slowly you're going to lift all the way up. So keep pressing your chest toward the back wall, lifting your hips nice and high. Steady breath, calm mind. You got this. And then slowly lower down. Windshield wiper your knees, left and right. And then slowly, mindfully, the feet are going to come nice and wide, knees knock together, one hand at your heart, the other over your belly. Few very good quality breaths right here. And then eventually knees pull into your chest, give them a squeeze. Let them drop to the right side. Arms can draw wide, looking over the left shoulder. And just allow your spine to relax here. Let your hips and your shoulders completely let go. And let your knees come back to center. Rock it out a little bit, and then allow them to drop to the left side. Eventually the knees come back to center and find a happy baby. So hands come around your feet. Take your knees nice and wide, open through your hips, rock a little bit left and right. Place your feet down and extend your legs nice and long to find Shavasana. So take a little scan through your body. Notice if there's any tension that you can still release. And see if you can just breathe some space into those areas. Focusing your attention on the breath. Allow your breath to get bigger. And just begin to send some movement and some life back into the fingers and the toes very gradually. Waking yourself up, rolling the wrists and the ankles. And maybe stretching up. Eventually roll onto your side, just hugging your knees into your chest for a moment. And with control, come all the way up. Find a comfortable seat. Take a moment here just to notice any shifts, any changes. Mentally, physically, emotionally. Take your hands together in front of your heart and begin to thank yourself for choosing to practice. And thank you so much for sharing your own practice with me today. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in class today. I hope you enjoyed this advanced inverted flow. If you'd like to see more videos like this, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. I will see you on the mat soon.